Hey, what's up, you guys? Thanks so much for coming to hang out with me today. If you are new here, welcome. So, yes, if you read the title of this video, I am ditching my phone for a $3 notebook. This year for Mother's Day, I asked my husband and kiddos for two things: a $3 basic notebook from Walmart and a Dutch Bros coffee. The coffee I will probably get on Mother's Day. The notebook I got early because I'm going to be starting this on May 1st. If I start using this notebook on the 1st of May, the entirety of that month and the entirety of the months thereafter, leading up to the month of October, will be 6 full months of dumping my phone for a basic notebook. And in the month of October, I will be turning 40. All of this is connected, and I thought we could hang out today and I will share with you guys how and why I'm going to be dumping my phone for a notebook. We're going to decorate it up a little bit. And yeah, I thought that this would just be fun to share with you in case you have been seeking inspiration or the idea to do something like this too. So, if you've been hanging around my channel for a minute, you know that my middle name is basically nostalgia. I live for and love the 80s and 90s so much. I reject pretty much all things modern, and I am finding myself more and more despising my phone, yet I reach for it more and more, and I can't stand that. So for the next 6 months, I'm breaking up with my phone. I'm ditching it, not entirely because I am going to be using it, but just as a phone. I'm going to be using it for text messages and phone calls. Lord, do not call me. I'm going to be using it for text messages with the sound on. It's going to be located in a specific spot in my home, and it's going to stay there, and it's going to be like 1994 where the phone rings and you have to walk to it to pick it up and respond. Now, you're probably thinking or asking yourself, why does this girl need to trade her phone in for a notebook? She's already a planner. So, yeah, I'm already doing the things that some people do in notes or in Google Calendar or what have you on their phone. I'm already not using a digital device for that. I do pen and paper plans. I do pen and paper appointments and birthdays and anniversaries and things like that. I don't use my phone for anything like that. But what I do use my phone for, I also despise, and I want to get rid of it, and I want to have it on paper. And yeah, while I am going to decorate this up a little bit with you guys today, I can't not. I love stickers, you guys. I cannot have a notebook or planner without stickers on it. After that initial decorative, this will be just pen on paper, just a scratch notebook of random everything. Why don't we start by taking a look at this notebook, and then I will share with you guys what I'm going to be using for and why I'm ditching my phone. So this is a basic pen and gear 80-page notebook, or I guess journal, perforated pages, back pocket, ruled, $2.93 from Walmart. It's not perfect. The grid on the front, I'm pretty sure, is off center. That notes does not look like it's in the center of the journal. That's okay. I'm going to be covering it with stickers. I do love the elastic closure. I love these colors together. Love the black and brown. It does have the back folder pocket, like it says. It has a bookmark ribbon and then the blacked lined pages. Not perfect paper, but you know, it'll work for what I'm using it for. And I'm just genuinely stoked for this thing. All right, let's put some stickers on the cover, and I will share with you guys the number one. I gotta do it. The number one reason why I am breaking up with my phone, turning it back into just a phone, and going into this notebook is to heal my creativity. So I am a super extremely anxious OCD person who is obsessed with the news and politics. Those are not healthy things, none of them. And I can't stop checking the news for updates and politics for updates and what's going on. but I'm also an author who's got books to write. And I've also, while constantly checking news updates and politic situations, I've also convinced myself that I need inspiration to write, that I need all of these vision, sorry, the dog is in here snoring if you can hear him, that I need all of these vision boards and Pinterest boards and all of these things to be able to write a book. And then I go on to Pinterest to create the vision board or the character board or the inspiration, and I'm wandering into other things. And before I know it, so much time has passed doom scrolling on my phone. And I don't need all the inspiration, all the vision board, all of the character images to be able to write a book. It's a waste. It's a waste of time. A little bit of that is healthy and great. Too much of it is really actually draining on my creativity because it kind of creates like this decision overwhelm. And I don't want to be seeing photos of people, places, spaces on Pinterest and letting that affect my writing. I don't want to see someone who looks a certain way or is dressed a certain way and I'm like, ooh, that would make a really great character. Or maybe I should find a way to insert them into my story. I don't want to do that. That is not necessary, and it's really not great for creativity. So the number one reason I'm going to be using this notebook in place of my phone is to heal my creativity. Now, my writing stuff, my characters and vision boards and world building and stuff like that is not actually going to go into this notebook. I have actual writing notebooks for that, but to ditch my phone, to not have any reason to go on my phone, this notebook is going to be helping me with that. Because just staying off my phone in general is going to create a lot more brain space for writing and creativity. I need to get bored again. I need to have a clear mind and brain space for creativity and ideas. So what's actually going in this notebook is just the basic things that would have me picking up my phone in the first place, and then that search leads to another search, this thing leads to the next thing, and meanwhile there's been a bunch of time wasted. So this notebook is going to be a calculator. This notebook is going to be Google for interests, that something I want to look up, something that my kids want to know about. What began the initial prompt for wanting to get this notebook was the other day, maybe a few weeks or a month or so ago now, my kids asked me to verify something on Google that I already mostly knew about. And I looked it up for them, and the Google AI, the little answer thing that scrolls up at the top of your phone now, it's a fairly recent thing, it gave something that was completely and verifiably wrong. And like, how, you guys, how are we supposed to get away from that? We are going to be and this makes me sound like a crotchety old boomer, I'm sure, but I don't care because it's wrong. How are we supposed to get away from that, right? Like, we're heading to a place where kids, young people, or people who just don't have that information, they are going to be given the wrong information. And this has already been happening for a long time in regards to other things, but they're going to be given the wrong information about a topic that's fairly harmless. It was like not a big deal, but it was still wrong. We're headed for that place, and I don't like it, and I don't want to participate. So we're going to basically write down topics in here, find some old books on that topic. If it's if it's some major thing, if it's something that they really want to learn about, if it's just a general quick question, we're going to figure out another way to get answers for that if my husband and I don't always have the answer. The other thing that's going to go in here is recipes or food or ingredient interests. My youngest kiddo has dreams of being a chef. He wants to either run his own food truck or restaurant. He loves to cook. He loves to bake. And I have been finding myself offering up Pinterest for recipes. And we don't need to do that. We have tons of recipe books. We need to actually just be getting out the recipe books, flipping through them, selecting from there, listing out the ingredients, and making that recipe. Other things like notes or a message that I need to send, or topics of interest, a movie that we want to watch, a piece of news, anything at all. I'm just going to jot it down really quick. Basically, instead of reaching for my phone for anything, every time I have a thought that I would normally look up, every time I want to know about something, every time I need to calculate something, do math, I'm going to reach for this notebook instead of my phone. Now, I'm not going offline. I'm not leaving my channel. For someone who has a YouTube channel, I certainly do despise the internet and social media. I'm not going to be leaving the internet. I'm not going to stop uploading videos. I'm not going to stop engaging with my Facebook group and providing things for them and doing activities for them. I'm just going to schedule a specific time for when I'm going to focus on those things, and I'm going to sit down at my laptop and work on those things for that set of time. And when I'm done, I'm done. It's more about the quitting my phone for 6 months. It's more about that and less about the notebook. The notebook is just going to be there to make sure that at any point where I would reach for my phone, I reach for the notebook instead. That's why it's a $2.93 notebook, you guys. I didn't need to add another thing to my lineup. Let me know though. Let me know if you are looking for a way to break up with your phone a little bit too. This is probably coming off as a little bit cranky, but I just don't like the relationship that I've had with my phone lately. My outrage about politics or what's going on in the world or injustices of any kind, they're not improving at all by my rage response sitting in my living room. Do you know what I mean? I'm better off investing in my family, loving them as best as I possibly can, teaching my boys to go out into the world and be good humans, to be good men. I'm better off investing in my community, giving to the people next door, just doing the best that I possibly can to spread goodness locally, as opposed to just empty, wasted rage on what's going on halfway around the world. That's not to say that I don't care about what's going on. I just can't do anything who I am, where I am at this point. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. These feelings probably a little bit also come from the fact that we just got back from a cabin in the woods, a beautiful getaway that was entirely disconnected from the rest of the world. And I long for that. I think a lot of us do. I think it's pretty evident that there are a lot of people right now who are quitting their phones, quitting social media, trying to live off grid, trying to have a quiet life. It looks like it's trendy, romanticize your life, live off grid. That might be a little bit extreme. That's like the further end of it, but Lord knows I want that too. But I feel like it's bone deep. We just innately know in our soul that we don't belong to this technology. And that's not to shame anybody who's like, no, I love my phone. I'm not willing to give it up. That's totally cool. You do you. I just personally do not like how I've been feeling about my phone lately, how I feel when I'm online, the things that I have been consuming, hop on Pinterest to find this recipe, and then you've scrolled and scrolled and scrolled and found enough things to tick you off that you want to throw your phone, and you've ruined your whole day. So anyway, all that to say, look at this sticker that I found, you guys. #offline. I love that. And yeah, I'm totally putting a Lisa Frank sticker right down in this corner here. I love that. And that is super nostalgia vibes for me. So what I'm hoping to get out of this, you guys, is in 6 months from now, I hope that I have healed my brain and healed my creativity and disconnected from my phone almost entirely. That it's just another thought. Like I don't have an urge to pick it up and have it in my hand constantly that it still sits somewhere else in my house and rings like an actual phone that I need to get to. I'm hoping that I've gotten better at math or even okay at math in the first place. I was never very good at math. But I'm, like I said, this is definitely going to become my calculator. I want to add things up. This is going to be super basic, but I want to not rely on my phone for any of those super big. When you think about it, it seems kind of silly. Like my phone needs to calculate things for me. Google needs to give me a simple answer. I don't want that. If it makes things difficult for me in the beginning, like it's harder to calculate things, it's harder to find the answer, I have to take the long way around, then that's okay. Then so be it. We'll figure it out. Let me know what you think of my little setup here. I love it. I'm looking forward to filling up these pages. Let me know if you want me to share these pages with you. It's not going to be exciting. It's going to be kind of boring, but nevertheless, I'm excited. If you want to hear about how it's going with not being on my phone, or if you want inspiration to ditch your phone yourself, watch Terminator. Watch the Terminator movies, and you'll want to break up with technology. Anyways, it's not super deep, you guys. I hope this did not come across as ranty, but maybe it is just a little bit. Either way, I'm looking forward to ditching the phone, picking up this notebook, healing my creativity, getting back to brain on paper, and no more doom scrolling. I know it might be harder for some other people more than it is for me. I don't play phone games. I'm not super big into social media. I've never been on TikTok in my life. But if it is super hard for you, maybe all the more reason to give this a try. I want to hear from you guys, all your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about phones and technology. If you are itching to get off grid or romanticize your life or time travel back to 1985, any of those things, I'm looking forward to catching up with you guys down in the comments below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this one. That's all for this one. I will see you in my next one. Tell your dog I said hi. Bye, guys.